Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today we're going to talk about certain eating patterns that greatly increase the risk of, fatty liver, what used to be called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now we call it metabolically associated fatty liver disease. It's really prediabetes and with a particular effect on the liver. You'll generally start seeing liver enzymes elevated. Let me rephrase that. Even halfway above normal for certain liver enzymes is already indicating that somebody is on that path. Not something that most doctors are aware or even looking for. But before I go into some of the details on which patterns were critical, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel. So, that being said, when we eat can be just as important as what we eat. And this was the Kaluan study, but following a large cohort of patients in China and how dietary habits impact metabolic outcomes. In this particular version of the study or aspect of the study, like the 32,000 participants, looking for dietary patterns that link to an increased risk of fatty liver disease. So, two things in particular were greatly increased risk of fatty liver disease, and that was skipping breakfast and late night snacks. You combine the two of them and you get they found that was a 52% increased risk of developing metabolically associated fatty liver disease. Like, that's huge, considering that a huge chunk of the population is already at risk because they're metabolically unhealthy. You start adding certain patterns in, and it's just going to wreak havoc. So, let me break each of those down. I have been very clear over the years that skipping breakfast, if we're going to do like time-restricted eating, you are way better off eating breakfast and stopping eating earlier. Like, that is very clear from the literature. Some people will skip. I find that most people who skip breakfast are not doing intentional intermittent fasting. They're just skipping breakfast, and it's part of a lot of other bad behaviors that they have. If you're gonna skip breakfast and do intermittent fasting, there are some ways to safely do that. It has to do with exercise during that time and what you might be eating. But all too often, I see people. They think they're skipping breakfast, but what they're doing is having creamer for breakfast or a 400-calorie mocha from a coffee shop. That's not skipping breakfast. That's having all carbs for breakfast. So, clearly, a good, healthy breakfast is an important player in good metabolic health. The other side of the coin, the late-night snacking, that is my nemesis. Has more to do with my brain, and I do my best to choose good options like macadamia nuts, almonds, dry roasted almonds, walnuts, pecans. Nuts are usually on the list. Pistachios are in there as well, combined with a little bit of dark chocolate. But I do understand that eating later will affect like the lymphatic system of the brain and brain health, but I try to do that as infrequently as possible and choose better options. I think, again, when people are late night snacking or eating, it's all part of this package of poor health behaviors. So it's not that skipping breakfast and eating late at night is going to be a problem. It's more likely that those are associated with other bad behaviors and not a deliberate attempt to maybe skip breakfast by time-restricted eating and shifting it later to the day. But either way, I will post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.